Your body is a healing machine that can heal itself. If you give it what it needs, it will pay you back in ways that you can only imagine. Good morning. It's Lo. Welcome to Refine the Machine. Today I want to talk about diet and nutrition of the body. In the previous video we covered the diet of the mind, and today I just want to go over some basics of nutrition that may or may not help anyone. For me, this was pivotal in my understanding of my body and how to lose and gain weight at will. So follow me, and if you stick around to the end, or you skip to the end, doesn't matter. You don't have to watch all this. You could literally just skip to the end. I'm going to give you some recipes that you can make at home that are fully nutritious, they're delicious, and it will help you to get into the flow a little bit, give you like a little cheat code. And as we go on, I could add a little more of this. So let's get into it. All right. So diet. The word diet comes from the Greek word dieta. Dieta means the way of life. You know, people have an issue with the word diet because they think it implies something extreme like the carnivore or the keto or, you know, whatever, the pescatarian, frugatarian, Youatarian, whatever. People just don't want to stick to a strict diet. So the best diet is the one that you can be consistent with. It doesn't matter how or what you're eating, as long as you're consistent and it's relatively healthy. Now, this is what my goal of this video is, just to describe what is relatively healthy, and maybe you can create your own diet based on this. It's your own way of life, it's your own body, so you should be able to experiment on yourself with what you eat. And initially, it is easier to add than to subtract, which means, like, I'm not going to tell you, like, don't do this, don't do that. I'm going to tell you this is what you can add in, and this can help you to maybe figure out what is causing your weight gain, because it might offset something that is actually causing your weight gain. Now, I'll get into the first one. So there's 5 total, but we'll just stick to number 1. Number 1 is water. So water makes up 70 to 90% of our body. Just like the earth, just like I talked about in Refine the Machine, this is the essence of our life. We are the embodiment of the earth. So we are reflections of it. And I know that's the whole thesis of this. I just wanted to make it more concrete. So the water makes up the cells in our body, and it is what allows our body and our brain to conduct electricity. So this is important for the healthy operation of our mind and body. It gives us better cognitive function and better bodily function, better mobility, better flexibility, more energy, increased alertness. So that is one of the keys. So you need this also to process food and toxins out of your body. Helps you to digest protein and helps you to break things down and respirate, which is like breathing out fat. Because that's, I don't know if anyone knows this, but that's how you actually lose fat, is mostly through your breath. So that's just a quick tidbit. But obviously, there's some signs of being dehydrated. It's like your mouth is really dry. Like, it's like, blah, blah. Your mouth's like really sticky. Pee is like really dark yellow and it smells like skunk ass. That might be it. You know, you might be dehydrated. If your eyes are like yellowish, you might have pee up to your eyeballs. Your body can be trained to do certain things. And if you train it to not urinate, and if you train it to not drink a lot of water, you won't feel the urge to drink water, if that makes sense. So this is a learning exercise in itself. If you're not used to drinking a lot of water, you have to retrain your body to feel the thirst so you know what you're doing. So there's like a little formula for doing this, but it's simple. It's 0.5 fluid ounces per pound of body weight. So that is, let's say you're a 200-pound person, just a round number, 200-pound person, you could drink 100 fluid ounces of water a day. That is a rough estimate depending on your activity level and other factors. Obviously, you'll be thirsty if you need it, and you won't if you don't. And you do get water from food, so just remember that. And that is water. I honestly wake up every morning. I drink one of these. This is a quart mason jar, 32 ounces of water right when I wake up. Then throughout the day, I just fill it up slowly. And I have a carry thermos that I take with me, a 64 fluid ounces stainless steel canister that I take with me when I go out, you know, working or whatever. And you just kind of sip on it throughout the day. And you'll feel if you need a little more, and then you just add a little more. So that's all personal preference. And as you add more, it's easier to feel the thirst. Number 2 is a big one, protein. So protein is what allows our body to heal. It is what builds our everything, our skin, our hair, our nails, our muscles, You know that probably because you hear those guys, oh, drink my protein shake. But no, seriously, you should eat protein. You should eat more protein. And protein should be the foundation of every meal. What I mean by that is that protein should be the first thing you're looking at. It should be the biggest portion on your plate. So you can use tricks like the size of your palm or a cup or a fist. If you're not measuring, and this is what I'm going to get at, is like it's easier not to measure. It's easier to just go with what you know. So if you have a hand and you don't need a scale, you could just pick something up and go, okay, this chicken breast is the size of my palm. I put it on my plate. This is the size of my portion of lentils. I put that on my plate. And that will give you an idea of the serving size of protein. So it's great for longevity and overall health. It's extremely satiating, which means you eat it and you don't feel as hungry. And intrinsically, protein, it increases your metabolism, which means that by consuming protein, you're actually using a lot more energy than you're taking in. That's like, calories in, calories out. It's not the same. It's different. It's like you take this in and your body's working harder to break it down than the amount of food you just consumed. So there's studies that track higher protein intake with less depression, also with higher rate of weight loss, higher rate of fat loss. So your muscle is inversely related to your fat. So if you eat a lot of protein, you will more than likely drop the amount of fat that you have on your body. That's it. Because muscle is more condensed, and the same amount of weight of muscle takes up less space than the same amount of weight of fat. So 5 pounds of fat is way more voluminous than 5 pounds of muscle. And just by consuming more protein, you will be building muscle without the need of exercise. But obviously exercise is an important part, and I will get to that. So things that contain protein are obviously chicken, beef, pork, fish, eggs, cheese, yogurt, and then vegetables, broccoli, lentils, peas, Brussels sprouts, beans. That is just the essence of everything. So people just think, protein is in meat. Protein is in everything. Everything that was once living is protein. Just by and large, that is the truth. There is some portion of protein in everything that was once living. So ultimately, what I'm saying is to eat more whole foods. The next suggestion is number 3, is add more veggies, fruit, and or fiber. So this is important. Fiber is also extremely satiating. If you combine water, protein, and fiber together, so let's say you have a breakfast and it is eggs, spinach, and a glass of water, you will be more full from that meal than you would be from a donut. Why? That's just how your body works. If you consume fats and carbs together, you will crave more fats and carbs together. Your body works like that. Your body is made up of a bunch of bacteria. They crave things. So when you start your day with a satiating, filling meal like protein and fiber, you will crave less of the carbs and fat, or the things that are, and I'm not demonizing fat or carbs. I'm just saying the combination of those two make you crave more of those two. And this would be a good time to mention that you could use an app called Cronometer. Cronometer helps you to track things. So it's like you can track what you're eating. You can put it into this app, and the app tracks the macros for you, which is like protein, fat, and carbs. And then it also tracks the calories. Now, the calories really aren't that important, and I don't have time to explain that because it just takes, honestly, and it makes it harder to understand. But if you just focus on the macros of getting the right amount of protein, and then slowly but surely cutting back your carbohydrates from processed food and eating just whole foods mostly, you will be in way better shape. So some veggies and fruit and fiber that you could eat is like broccoli, beans, blueberries, lentils, just the same thing that I mentioned with protein. And also just understand, I know cost is a big thing for people not eating healthy. I understand that. But if you think about it like this, and this shout out to my brother, Not So Heavy, he he said that frozen broccoli costs the same as a family-sized bag of Doritos. You could get 5 pounds of frozen broccoli for the same price as as a party size bag of Doritos. Now, there you go. That's simple. It's not the expense that is the hiccup here. It is the choice you need to intentionally make to become healthier. And like I said, at the end of this, I will give you some recipes to follow that are good, and you can cook them fairly easily, prepare them ahead of time. Now, next is number 4 is multivitamins and supplements. Now, there's a lot of controversy around multivitamins supplements. People say, oh, you're just going to pee them out. Okay, doesn't matter. What's happening in America is that a lot of people are vitamin deficient. These vitamin deficiencies show up in the form of symptoms. These symptoms can give people the illusion that they have a disease. Now, the thing is that when you don't have enough vitamins, your body doesn't process things the same. And I can link to another video by a doctor named Eric Berg. He talks a lot about this, and I find it completely fascinating. So just an overview, the most common deficiencies in America are D3, B vitamins in general, magnesium, and zinc. Obviously, iron's in there as well, but it's not as common. It's more common in women. But these are the main ones. So D3 deficiency is linked to hormonal imbalance and restlessness. D vitamins you get from the sun, you get from milk. I know people tell you that. You also get it from mushrooms. You can also take a supplement. The best source, obviously, is the sun. The mushroom thing is interesting. If you take like a button mushroom or a mini Bella you get at the store, you put it in the sun, it actually produces more bioavailable B or D3. And then if you eat it after putting it in the sun for a little bit, cook it up, eat it, you'll be able to consume more vitamin D. And vitamin D helps with your hormones, and it helps with just overall health. So I think it's fair to say that it's pretty important. Now, B vitamins. B vitamins are a range. I think I don't actually know all of them, but I think it's like B3 to B12. That's the ones I know. So it's like the B vitamins, they're good for neurological function, nerves. B vitamins are linked to B vitamin deficiency is linked to like neuropathy, nerve pain. Things like sciatica and carpal tunnel syndrome are exacerbated by a lack of B vitamins. So I know that the people say it's a physical thing. Your body is intertwined. So these things are all intertwined. Yeah, maybe you have an exacerbated injury, but it could be initially caused by a deficiency. So now we come to magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most interesting ones because it seems to have the most wide effect from what I've researched. So magnesium is linked with anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, headaches, body soreness, fatigue, and restlessness, ironically. So it's fatigue and restlessness. Like you could be tired, but you won't be able to sleep. So magnesium is like Epsom salt. Like when you take an Epsom salt bath, your body is absorbing magnesium through your skin. It's very good for muscle soreness if you work out a lot. If you just want to relax and take the day off and maybe get into sleep a little earlier, take a warm bath with some Epsom salt. So just basic overview of that. I don't want to get into too much detail. I find this fascinating. Also supplements, things like fish oil I take. I'll just mention what I take. I take a 1-a-day generic vitamin, like 1-a-day vitamin buy it from Walmart. It's like $6 for 100. I buy that. I get fish oil, D3, and ashwagandha is my new one. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen, which is interesting to me. It helps to regulate your hormones, cortisol, testosterone, estrogen, and for me, it's helped my sleep extremely. Like I can wake up early. I feel rested. I have more energy. I feel like it just generally helped me, and overall, it helped me to identify things like some anxiety that I had in the background. So I just recommend them. Give it a try. Again, this is your experiment to run, and these are just my suggestions. Now, number 5 is they don't. What I think is this one is number 5 is cut back on processed foods. This is just general. This is like packaged foods. This is like snack cakes. This is chips. This is anything you don't know how to make yourself, or you don't know anyone who knows how to make it. Do you understand? Like, do you know anyone who knows how to make Doritos? Do you know anyone who knows how to make Oreos? I don't know them. And these foods are created to be addictive. Their labels are misleading. They make a big package, and the serving size is so small, and like it's hard to not eat all of it. Like I open a bag of Doritos in front of me, and half the bag will disappear, and I feel like I have some self control. Oreos the same. I'll eat a whole row in one sitting. That is the nature of it. They created this thing. The fat combined with the sugars is very addictive, and it creates this effect where you are constantly reaching back in the bag and reaching back in the package. So if you're gonna commit to a diet and a lifestyle of change, you should start cutting back. And I'm not saying just to quit cold turkey, because sugar is a drug, by the way. I'm saying that you need to start setting boundaries with yourself, setting rules. Like maybe if you eat Oreos, instead of grabbing the whole package, grab 5, throw them on a plate, and just cut yourself off at 5. And start slowly but surely cutting back, and you'll feel the difference. Because by cutting back on these things, you will lower your inflammation, you'll help to regulate your blood sugar, it helps your body, your gut, and your brain. Like they're coming out with studies saying that these processed foods are linked to things like depression and anxiety and mental and brain fog. And I think it's important to understand how food can influence our minds as well as our body. So it's not just about the fat gain and the cardiovascular health and the knee pain and the joint pain and all that. It's also about the lack of nutrition in these things, and the fact that they are sapping your body of energy while filling you with empty filler. It's like empty calories, you know? And speaking of calories, I didn't really mention calories. And I know a lot of diets mention calories. The reason I didn't is because when I wanted to lose weight, I found it mind-numbing to be constantly counting my calories, because some things you don't know what you're eating. That's why preparing your own food is probably the best thing. Eating whole foods, if you can, is the best thing, because if you can prepare your own food, at least you know what went into it. And there's a difference between preparing your own food, smelling it as it's cooking, or even being in a home where food is being cooked, and then eating at a fast food restaurant where somebody just slapped a bun and a burger on. You know what I mean? There's no love in that. And I know this is woo-woo or whatever, but I believe that people put their energy into food. So if you're going somewhere where someone hates their job and they hate what they're doing and they're just slapping shit together, obviously there's going to be something else missing besides the nutrition. There's something else missing from it. So the calories is an important part of this, but it's very bogging. It can bog you down with all the numbers and stuff. So initially, all you have to stick to is whole foods. Now, the 80-20 principle applies, which means like if you eat good 5 days out of the week and you want to have a good weekend with your family and eat together, that's fine. Like 80-20, like 80% of your week you did good, 20% give yourself a break, lax off. But it's the consistency, the back and forth, that not giving up and not binging into a whole week and going, I'll start Monday, because Monday will eventually never come. And if you keep doing this, eventually years will go by and then you'll wish you started sooner. So that's why I say it now. I'm not saying this to chastise anyone or to make you feel bad. I'm saying I've been there. I know what it's like. And if you can start right now and just slowly but surely build yourself up to it, even if you don't start at 80%, maybe you start at 20% and you just start flipping the ratios back and forth. So you do 2 days and 3 days, at least you're making progress incrementally. And also there's things like meal timing. I'm sure you've heard of intermittent fasting, where people abstain from eating for 12 to 16 hours out of a day. It takes time to build up to that, and it's much easier to do things like intermittent fasting when you're eating a more whole food based diet, because you're more satiated and you don't get the hunger as much. And I'm going into a fast right now, like where I'm not going to be eating. I'll just be drinking water for 3 days straight. And it's rough, honestly, but I had to build myself up to it, and now it's not so rough. It's more of a mental battle than anything, because overall it does help your body if you're healthy enough to sustain it, you know. And as long as you know what to eat when you come off of it, and I can do a video about that sometime in the future. And then the progress isn't going to be instant, and it's not going to be too slow, but it's going to take time. So don't look at the scale every day. If you commit to this for 15 days, just eating like this, let's say 15 whole days, so that's 3 weeks with 2 days off. I'm sorry, I mean pistachio. By the way, healthy snacks, eat something that's protein based, not carb based. Like no pretzels, no chips. Try beef jerky or pistachios, nuts, or something like that. They're filling and they're delicious. But I don't even know what I was saying, but yeah, the progress is gonna be slow, and you'll make it there. It's just gonna take a little time, and it's a step by step process. And every time that you do it, every time that you apply it a little more, you'll see the progress. But like I said, 15 days, that's not total. I'm just saying like 3 weeks with 2 days off each week. You'll see that. You'll see it. You'll feel it. You look at the scale. You'll see the progress. If you apply any two of these, any three of, actually, I would say the top three. If you do the top three for 5 days out of the week for 3 weeks straight, I guarantee you will lose weight. I guarantee you will feel better. And obviously, we're all unique and we all have our own situations. And if you need like any help, you can reach out to me, and I can help you in any way I can. I'm right now in the middle of a nutrition course, and I'm trying to understand a little more about what I'm speaking about. Obviously, I'm not the best articulating it, but I've studied a ton and I've read a lot, and I just hope that this can help you in some way. Now, I told you I'll give you some recipes. So what I'm going to do, instead of just spouting off a bunch of recipes, I'm going to write it down. That way you could copy it. But my favorite food right now is lentils. Lentils is a superfood, high in protein, high in fiber, high in micronutrients and macronutrients that you need. It has like the perfect balance. So if you're not used to a high fiber meal, you might have to ease into this, because high fiber can make you gassy, like beans make you fart, right? So lentils can make you gassy if you don't eat a lot of fiber. But once you ease into it, this is super healthy food. It will clear you right out. It will give you a lot of sustained energy. This is a recipe for lentil stew. Then the second one is very easy. I can explain it right here. A Caesar chicken salad. So you go to whatever you have, a Walmart, a ShopRite, a Price Chopper. I'm in Northeast, so something like that. And you go there, you get a rotisserie chicken, you buy a pack of salad, you get some Caesar dressing, whatever dressing you like, you get some Parmesan cheese. You can add whatever you want to this. This is the beauty of it. So just a salad, the chicken, and a wrap if you want a wrap, or you can just eat it on a plate. You add croutons, seeds, whatever you want. And there you go. Simple plan, simple food. You eat that. That's a pretty well-rounded meal. And then I have another recipe for one of my favorite dishes, is a chicken quinoa casserole, which is great for meal prepping for a week. And like I said, I can add other recipes as we go on, but I just want to give you 3 basic ones, and then obviously in the future I will work on adding a little more. But yeah, I don't want this video to go too long. I just want to honestly to give a well-rounded explanation and some detail to, because it can be a little crazy. The industry right now is sickness based. I personally dealt with it, and I'll go into detail about this later. But I've dealt with the medical industry, and with my own illness, with my asthma, with my weight, with my blood pressure, and I was just frustrated with how they treat this stuff. When I know that Hippocrates said food is medicine, and medicine is food. So if that is the father of medicine, then why are they not allowing people to, or why are they not giving people the information they need to do things outside of paying for prescription pills and taking a pill or a shot, And another disclaimer here is initially, your taste buds, if you've been eating like a high carb diet or a high processed food diet for a long time, food is not going to taste the same to you. So good food could be off-putting to you. I say stick with it. If we're going to go with pleasure versus pain, or pleasure versus taste, like if I had to toss it up, and if there was nutrition and I knew that thing didn't taste good, like I drink beet juice. Beet juice does not taste good, but it's great for working out. It's awesome. So I drink it. I mix it with some fruit, a little juice, a little water, and I drink it. It doesn't taste the best, but I do it for the nutritional benefits. And initially, everything's going to be like that. So maybe you don't like broccoli, maybe you like Brussels sprouts. You can prepare them in ways that make them delicious. You can add a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper. Obviously, if you're on a low salt diet, maybe try like Mrs. Dash or garlic powder, or just mix it up a little bit. But I feel like that's what holds a lot of people off from eating healthy, is they say it doesn't taste good. And it doesn't taste good because your taste buds have been warped, and your mind has been warped by these corporations who are making very addictive and tasty food. It tastes delicious, don't get me wrong, but it's not the best for you. It has no nutritional value at all. So initially it could be off-putting, and I just wanted to let it be known. I've been there and I understand. That's why I created my own recipes, because I wanted to create nutritious and delicious meals, because I want people to stay healthy for as long as possible. I don't want you to be in pain. I don't want you to feel like heart palpitations. I want you to feel good. I want you to be able to digest food. I want you to take 2 good dumps a day and feel good afterwards, feel empty. And I know this sounds strange, but it's a great feeling. And if you come to joy with things like this, then you understand that the benefits far exceed the cost of eating healthy. So even if the cost of eating healthy is more expensive monetarily, down the road it's going to save you a ton of money on doctor's bills and toilet paper. And that's a joke. But seriously, I really love you guys, and I'm doing this because I feel like it's necessary for people to understand. And I hope this helps. I really do. I hope it helps. And I hope that I'm getting the message across. And obviously, give me some feedback. Let me know how it is. And obviously, I did skip some things in the grand scheme of it, but I just want to give a grand overview of everything. So much love to every one of you. I hope your families are good. I hope you're good. I hope you strive to improve. And I hope we get a little honest with ourselves and know where we're at and where we could be. If you got a little weight on the belly or a little weight on the scale you would like to use, just be honest about it, and then start making a plan to get there. And like I said, anyone who needs help directly, just reach out to me. I'll do my best to help you. I'll do whatever it takes to help you. And I know that sounds like a lot, and it could be, but I'm willing to do that. All right. So much love to everyone, and until next time, make sure you refine. Peace out.